the urgency and the positivity, particularly the positivity around the debate, has been missing.
Prince William's recent and utterly unexpected revelation concerning the tragic death of his mother, Princess Diana, has sent ripples of astonishment across the globe. For decades, the world mourned the loss of the beloved Princess of Wales, many accepting the official story of a car accident in Paris. But persistent whispers and deeply rooted suspicions never died. Conspiracy theories flourished in quiet circles and fringe publications, always met with denial or silence from the highest tiers of the royal establishment. Yet now, with one decisive, deeply personal statement, Prince William has torn open a veil long held shut. He has confirmed what many believed was impossible. The death of Diana was not a mere accident, it was an inside job. Before we start, hit the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. The magnitude of this declaration cannot be overstated. Coming from the future King of England, this was not speculation, not tabloid fodder, not shadowed innuendo. It was, for the first time, acknowledgement from within the very institution so often implicated in whispers and theories. This moment marked the collapse of decades-long denial, shattering a cultural dam of silence, and validating suspicions that many dismissed as fantastical. The confirmation forces the public to reevaluate everything they thought they knew about that dark tunnel in Paris, about Diana's final days, and about the powerful forces swirling behind closed palace doors. William's words didn't come lightly. Observers noted the gravitas in his demeanor, the weight of someone who had spent years silently carrying the burden of private knowledge. When he spoke, he wasn't just a prince revealing a tragic secret. He was a son acknowledging that his mother's demise was orchestrated not by fate or recklessness, but by design. For someone raised under the strict discipline of the royal code, trained from childhood to withhold and remain stoic, to speak at all on such a sensitive topic was earth-shaking. But to go as far as to confirm the theory of an internal conspiracy? It was revolutionary. The implications of his statement stretch far beyond the British royal family. Diana was a global icon, a symbol of compassion, strength, and resilience. Her sudden death at the age of 36 in 1997 was not just a national tragedy, it was a planetary jolt. She was mourned in every corner of the world. Millions followed the news with rapt attention, and the event remains etched in collective memory. When the initial investigations declared it an accident caused by a drunk driver and paparazzi pressure, many accepted it as truth, though unease lingered. With William's recent revelation, that unease has crystallized into a chilling clarity. What exactly constitutes the inside job that Prince William confirmed remains a subject of wild speculation. Though his confirmation gives credence to the idea that certain factions within the monarchy or closely affiliated institutions may have had a hand in orchestrating her demise, this aligns with long-standing theories suggesting that Diana, whose popularity and independence often eclipsed that of the royal family itself, had become a perceived threat to the institution's stability. Her relationship with Dodi Fayed, the son of an Egyptian billionaire, her increasing distance from royal protocol, and her outspoken nature on issues like landmines and HIV had all sparked tension in traditionalist circles. She was no longer seen as just a princess. She was an unpredictable force, one that could not be contained. By confirming the theories, Prince William has implicitly validated that these tensions were more than interpersonal conflicts or symbolic disobedience. They had tangible consequences. His statement throws a glaring spotlight on the idea that Diana's transformation from royal spouse to global humanitarian made her incompatible with the rigid and image-conscious mechanisms of royal power. In essence, she had stepped too far out of line. And for that, the consequences were lethal. Public reaction to William's revelation has been a complex mix of vindication, sorrow, and outrage. For those who had long held on to the belief that Diana's death was suspicious, the prince's confirmation feels like a long-awaited acknowledgement of truth. Their grief has been transformed, not erased but redirected. No longer the sorrow of mystery, but of betrayal. For others, the news has upended their worldview, forcing them to confront uncomfortable truths about institutions they once revered. To hear it from William, not a commentator or a conspiracy theorist, was to hear it from the heart of the monarchy itself. It stripped away the buffer of plausible deniability. The question that now haunts the public is, Why now? Why, after nearly 3 decades of silence, did William choose this moment to speak? Speculation abounds. Some believe it may have been tied to the birth of his own children, a desire to ensure that history does not repeat itself, that the new generation of royals is not raised under the same shadows that haunted his youth. Others think the answer lies in the shifting cultural tides, in the growing demand for transparency from institutions that once thrived on secrecy. Or perhaps it was simply a personal reckoning, a burden too heavy to carry any longer. Whatever the catalyst, the revelation opens a new chapter in the story of Diana's life and death. It reframes her as not merely a tragic figure, but a martyr to truth, autonomy, and justice. Her life, marked by acts of courage and kindness, is now seen in even sharper relief against the backdrop of a system that may have viewed those very qualities as threatening. William's confession casts her not just as a casualty, but as a heroine undone by forces she bravely defied. This also raises profound ethical and legal questions. If Diana's death was indeed orchestrated, then it was not merely a moral failure, it was a crime, one that has gone unpunished for decades. William's revelation, though deeply personal, may well prompt renewed calls for investigation, potentially even on an international level. The demand for accountability will not be limited to emotional closure. It will become a matter of justice. Already, legal experts and human rights advocates are beginning to weigh in, calling for inquiry commissions, forensic re-examinations, and witness interviews. There is a sense that the full truth, long buried, may finally come into the light. Within the royal institution, the fallout will likely be seismic. William's position as heir to the throne complicates matters considerably. By speaking out, he has placed himself in direct conflict with the very system he is destined to lead. That paradox cannot be ignored. It forces a reevaluation of what monarchy means in the modern age, whether it can survive transparency, whether it can evolve, or whether it will collapse under the weight of its own contradictions. This revelation forces the public to consider if a future monarch can stand apart from the darker legacies of his lineage, or whether he will be compelled to perpetuate them. For Prince Harry, who has long hinted at systemic problems within the royal family, and who also bore witness to the devastation of their mother's death, this moment may serve as vindication. His years of estrangement, of warning the public about internal dysfunction and suppression, now appear not as rebellion, but as foresight. William's statement brings the brothers into a strange alignment, possibly even paving the way for reconciliation built on a foundation of shared truth. This revelation has also profoundly shifted how the public perceives Diana's final days. No longer seen as a woman caught in a tragic accident, she is now imagined as someone possibly marked, watched, and ultimately eliminated by a system that could not contain her light. Her recorded fears, dismissed at the time as paranoia, now feel eerily prescient. Her discomfort with royal protocols, her efforts to protect her sons, her retreat into semi-private life, all seem in retrospect to be survival tactics in a game she could not win. The confirmation from William has reignited global discourse not only around Diana's death, but also about power, truth, and legacy. It reminds the public that no institution, however ancient or revered, is immune to corruption or moral failure. It challenges the world to consider how many other truths may still lie hidden beneath layers of ceremony and tradition. It invites a new generation to ask difficult questions, to probe deeper, and to refuse easy answers. The event also marks a cultural turning point. Diana was not just a royal. She was a mirror reflecting the hopes, fears, and dreams of millions. Her openness about her struggles, her empathy toward the marginalized, and her desire to live authentically made her a deeply human figure in an often inhuman system. William's confirmation adds new poignancy to her story. It reveals the cost of her humanity. In a world that too often punishes women for stepping out of line, her fate now stands as a chilling reminder of what that punishment can entail. Even at the highest echelons of society, globally, this development has stirred institutions, historians, media houses, and governments. Conversations that were once restricted to whispers are now front and center. Archives are being re-examined, interviews reanalyzed, footage rewatched. The idea that one of the most beloved public figures of the 20th century was eliminated not by chance, but by intent, is too seismic to ignore. It forces historians to redraw the lines of contemporary royal history. It demands that journalists reframe narratives that were once considered closed. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, could you leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on Prince William confirming inside job theories? Will truth emerge? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.